guys, welcome back to the channel. I'm doing a process video for you. This one is a 2-page layout that I'm creating, and I basically gathered a whole bunch of stuff from my stash that it just sort of worked out that everything was the right color scheme. It all went together just perfectly, which is amazing. I've had these pattern papers. I don't even know who they're from. They could be K & Company or like KI Memories or something. I've had them for like forever. And they're travel themed papers, and obviously, well, before I had a kid, I did a lot of traveling, but I just never used them. And I guess I thought maybe the patterns were too busy, or I didn't have the right extra embellishments or whatnot with them. So what I decided to do was finally break them out, and I had a couple of solid color pieces of cardstock that I felt went really well with the colors in the pattern paper. And I just went through my stash and I looked for stuff, travel stuff. I had some travel stickers. I had a couple, I think I put some Cheeky Studio stuff. I ended up doing that on here. And it just ended up working out really well. So I was really pleased. I think what helped was that I was using a sketch to do this 2-page layout, and I've used the sketch before for another layout, and I really liked the way everything came together. It just really made it easy, and I think that that also helped me put this together and find all the right elements and whatnot. So if you're not into using sketches, I would highly recommend it. I've got a whole Pinterest board full of sketches and other people's layouts that I use as inspiration, because sometimes I get in a rut, or especially when I'm doing stuff where I think I had like 6 images or 6 photos for this layout, and actually for the whole, these are pictures from a little stop on our road trip that we took last summer in 2017 to Casey, Illinois, and I actually have like 15 pictures from that little side stop that we took. But this layout is just has 6 of them, so I still have to put the other photos into another layout, and I'll probably end up doing more 2-page layouts for those. Um, but you know, when I have a whole bunch of photos, sometimes I get a little overwhelmed, and I just don't know what to do with them. I could have used a Leah France stencil for this, but I just didn't see how I would be able to cut the photos down to fit into the stencil. So I'm doing a 2-pager with these 6 photos. That right there is from the Cheeky Studio kit. That is the, oh my goodness, now I'm going to forget the name. I believe it was from the August kit, I think. No, it was the sweet succulents. Those are the sweet succulents cut aparts. And I've got a couple of the other elements, the American Crafts tags, and I end up using some of the Vicky Bouton stickers from that kit. So if you don't have that kit, I would highly recommend that you go to the Cheeky Studio store, use my discount code COOKSCRAP10, and you can still find some of the Sweet Succulents products that are there. And if they have some of the leftover kits, I know she sells some of those kits while supplies last. It's a great collection. I love the colors. And again, the colors went just perfectly with these pattern papers that I had. So I also added a couple random travel stickers, and I cannot remember who the manufacturer is for those. But there's one of them right there. And again, it sort of had that same kind of color scheme. They're the Vicky Bouton stickers. And I love those. I think those are just so fantastic. Some of the other elements that I put on here were old crepe paper pieces. They were from a cut-apart sheet. I had bought a big crepe paper pad like years ago. And there was a cut-apart sheet of labels and a couple other things, so I ended up putting that there. And then I'm using some of I think the Sweet Succulents sequins mix from Cheeky Studio, because again, the colors were just perfect to go with this. You know, the pinks, the yellows, the oranges, and the greens, just gorgeous. The photos, as I said, were from Casey, Illinois, and it's a very small little town. And one of the business owners in the town, he grew up there. He wanted to kind of give back to the community and kind of draw some tourism to the town, because it is a very small town. And so what they did was, this guy's company, I think he's a contractor or something, they built super large structures. Like, you can see the world's largest, I think there are 8 of the world's largest as certified by the Guinness Book of World Records structures. So there's like a big rocking chair, We saw the knitting needles, we saw a bird cage, a mailbox. Some of them aren't certified as the world's largest, they're just really, really big. But it's still kind of fun just to kind of go through the town and see what they have and stand next to them and get a lot of photo opportunities. There's a cute little candy toy store in town. There's also a restaurant that we ended up going to. There's a pitchfork, I believe, at the restaurant, as well as a couple other random photo opportunities. As you can see from those pictures, where my daughter's standing, there's a little door that says kids entrance. That's a mini little door for the kids, and that's actually where the candy store slash toy store is. But anyway, there's a restaurant kind of outside of the town, and I wish that it had been open when we went. We wanted to eat there for lunch, or at least just go and see what they had. But it was actually closed on the day that we went, and we were a little disappointed because we thought it would have been as kind of business lost for them, I guess, if you know what I mean. Especially when you're trying to draw people into the town to be closed on a day when I would think we might have been there on a weekend. But yeah, they were closed. So I don't know if the food there is good, but it looked really cute, and I would love to, I guess, go back and try it. And the next time we were on our way to St. Louis, which is where I'm from. So the next time maybe we drive there or something, maybe we could take a little stop off and go on a day that the restaurant is open. They do have some other stores and shops and whatnot, and if you've got kids who are fans of the Despicable Me movies, they have a large Minion statue, which my daughter at the time was not had never seen the Minions movies, and now she has, and she's like obsessed with Minions. So we might have to go back there for her. What I'm doing here is just trying to figure out what papers I want to use to back my photo. And I was trying to use up that little scrap paper from the Sweet Succulents Cheeky Studio kit, but it just wasn't really working. So I'm going to back those two photos with that yellowish cardstock. That kind of uses up the last of that piece of cardstock, which I like being able to use up things instead of having to feel obligated to throw them in my scrap drawer, because that's where I get in to these messes where I have so much stuff in my scrap drawers and I just don't use it all. So I used up that yellow piece of paper, and for the life of me, now I can't remember what I ended up using to back the pencil photo. I think I do a solid piece of cardstock in just a different color because that pattern with the tiles, it's kind of busy, and when I was trying to put a different pattern paper in front of it, it just seemed like that pattern paper was kind of getting lost, and I didn't really like that. So I'm going to go into my paper stash and see if I can figure out what I want to do here. I don't know why it's so hard for me sometimes, but man, sometimes I just can't seem to figure out what papers I want to use. And I come back, and sometimes it helps if I just start putting stuff down on the page. Because if I don't have things adhered to the page, then I can't really see the placement and where they're going to go. So I kind of say I need to just get this part down, and we'll kind of see how everything else fits. This is obviously the second page to the layout. And sometimes I feel like when I'm doing two-page layouts, the first page comes together really easily, and then the second page, sometimes it's like, oh, I don't know, it's just not really working as well. And I don't know if that's just because the first page kind of sets a stage. It's got the title. It's like just got a lot of oomph, and then the second page is just kind of like, oh yeah, I've got these pictures too. I don't know. So there you can see I'm just kind of playing with some Echo Park pattern paper, and I just wasn't liking the way it was looking. So I pulled a coordinating piece of colored cardstock from my stash. I really love that color. It's a beautiful, like blue jewel tone. Um, I had a whole like jewel tone paper kit, and I've been using a lot of it. It's just so beautiful. So I'm just gonna back the photo with that, and I'm using some scrapbook.com adhesive, which is basically like sticky glue. I mean, seriously, it is not repositionable. So once you stick stuff down, you are married to that. There is no turning back. So that's what happened here. I stuck it down on this colored cardstock, and I said, that's it. I'm not gonna worry about it. I think I like the way it looks. And it was just looking so much better than some of those pattern papers as well. And then I end up doing my journaling there too. So I'm glad that I did have a nice kind of blank space. It would have been difficult to see the journaling on that pattern paper. and I didn't have any other journaling spot. So I'm just using my 1-inch hole punch to do another sweet succulents punch. Just going to kind of create like a cluster of embellishments at the bottom of the page, which I'm not sure how well you can see because it's sort of cut off there. But I love the sweet succulents cut aparts because some of those little circles had words in them and some of them were blank, so you can really kind of get creative and do whatever you want with them. And it's so easy to punch them out with that 1-inch hole punch if you have a 1-inch hole punch, or you can just cut them out by hand, however you want to do it. So unfortunately, what I'm doing down here at the bottom, you can't see. It's so hard to try to keep my scrapbook layouts in frame. But I've got an American Crafts tab sticker that I'm going to put down there, or I'm thinking I'm going to put down there. What I do end up putting down there are some of the Vicky Boutin phrase stickers. And then I'm just kind of looking at these stickers here to see if I like any of those. They're a really great collection of stickers, and I like that they're kind of translucent, but not so much that they get lost over with what you put behind it, which is really nice because I do have some translucent, they were like flower stickers, but man, they really get lost. It's crazy. That little tab says don't forget, so I'm just going to kind of put that off to the side there. I really love those tabs. You can use them in your planners, but I really like the way they look on the scrapbook layouts as well. And I'm just trying to figure out if I want to use any more of those stickers. See down there at the bottom, you can kind of see that I've started my little cluster. And I'm just putting some of the sequins on there, up there at the top. I love adding the sequins because they give such a nice shine to the page, as well as another way to add some dimension. And I know that there are lots of things you can do with sequins. You can make shaker pockets and all sorts of crazy stuff, but I sometimes, especially when I'm scrapbooking like in the evening or during my daughter's nap, I just sometimes don't have the time to spend on projects like that. So when I use my sequins, I usually just kind of create some fun little clusters. If I can, I'll try to find a different way to use them as opposed to just doing like 3 here and 3 there. But for the most part, I just kind of create some sequence clusters and kind of place them where I think it seems fitting. So I did a little bit of accenting under that sticker. I put some at the top cluster by that tab. And now I'm just going to use some craft foam to pop up another piece that I have down there in that smaller embellishment cluster. And really all I do after this is just add my journaling. I have a white pen that I got for like $1.99 at Michael's. It's a jelly roll pen. And I've tried so many different white pens, believe me. And the jelly roll pen writes so clearly. There's no breakage in the ink coming out. It's like the perfect white pen. And it was super cheap too, which is always nice. So that sticker there says do all the things. And I end up using 3 of them. They're just really nice length. I like the long sticker, and actually it kind of matched with what was on the original sketch. Now I'm just trying to figure out which other sticker I want to use. There are so many good ones, and sometimes I look at a sticker and I think, or any embellishment really, and I think, oh, I want to use that on a different layout, on this layout with this pictures, and then they just end up in my stash. And so I think I kind of did a pause here for you, and I came back and I'm going to put my titling on. Or actually, I think what happened was my camera cut out. So here I am, back to the first page. The title I gave it was Big Things, Small Town, because that's what it says. That's kind of the tagline of it on the website. A lot of big things in a small town. So again, if you're ever driving through Illinois, you want to stop off somewhere and stretch your legs, do it in Casey, Illinois. It's pretty cool. And I think I'm going to have some close-ups coming up soon. Please subscribe to the YouTube channel so that you never miss when another scrapbook process video or other fun scrappy things pop up. And also I have links below for all my social media channels and the blog, because I post a lot more scrapbook layouts on the blog and on social media than I actually do on the YouTube channel. So definitely follow me. I would love to have you as part of the Cook Scrap Craft community. There are those stickers. I love those stickers. I got them on sale at Walmart. Walmart has stickers now. I'm so excited. And they're very easy to reposition, as you can see. So I did the big things in all caps in like a silvery hue, and then the small town portion I did in the gold small letters. Ha ha ha, how clever am I? So like I said, there's going to be some close-ups to follow, and make sure that you follow me, and I'll see you guys next time.